I'm Sheldon King. I'm interviewing the one and only Reservation.
Thanks a lot. We look forward to looking at the rest of the project and ultimately seeing our guys learn and install and then getting everybody up on the roof and putting these panels on the roof.
All right, so tell us about this program. What are you doing here?
Well, today what we're doing is we're getting ready to install our solar panels onto this building. This project is a community project called Wakpamni Lake Community. And this particular project here, this warehouse, it's a multi-use warehouse to include both office space that we're standing in now, two-story office space, as well as the actual bays out there that we have for multi-use as well. One of our I would call it a product offering or one of our services or one of our businesses within this project is solar panels. So it makes sense that we utilize them for our own use. And ultimately, we'd like to show other potential tribes or even tribal buildings or tribal programs, it's all kind of chopped up in different ways, how they can have these solar panels put on their buildings as well.
And when did this program start?
The structure itself, amazingly, was built right in the middle of winter time. I mean, these men did an amazing job building through blizzards, monsoons, tornadoes, earthquakes, and volcanoes.
Wow.
So yeah, they did an excellent job. So it's been going, I want to say 7 months now has been the build time. You can tell around here we still have a whole nother series of buildings, another 3 or 4 buildings that are going to be built next. But this has been the primary focus, and it's they think about maybe a month and a half to completion. We were waiting on the weather, and we were waiting on these solar panels, and that's really kind of what's been I don't want to say holding up, because we're on schedule. And the solar panel process, what we want to do is we want to catalog or film what we're doing with these solar panels, because we want to show how, look, these things show up. We train our local staff, and they're able to do everything we need in order to prep them, in order to apply the adhesive, in order to test them and put these panels on the roof panels, and then take those roof panels and install them like you would normally a roof on a building of this size or any size. So that's the exciting part. The second part of that process, I would add, is that we also work with the local power company, and in this case, we show how we're able to sell that power back to the grid, which then that's kind of a historic precedent-setting process there, because that's never really been completed thoroughly in any efficient manner. Yeah, maybe even a little controversial, that you could say. And so it's exciting to be a part of that process.
My name is Carlo Travis. I'm from iFlex Solar. I'm the founder and the CEO of the company. So what we're going to show you here is how we're preparing the panel before we actually install them on the roof, on the metal substrate. So we manufacture the panel in our factory. They come as a very lightweight and about 2 meter long panel. What these gentlemen are going to do are preparing the backing of the panel. After we clean the backing of the panel, we are now attaching a double-side tape. It is a special tape that was developed for the roofing industry. They was able to adapt it a little bit to our technology. So it's a double-side tape, as I said. So they're attaching it on the back of the panel here. We wanted to do that in a nice higher temperature, so there is a better adhesion of the panel. After that is done, after they attach the panel, we go to the next step. At the next step, we're just connecting the junction box, where we are going to be connecting the cable to our panel. And after that process is done, we're going to go up on the roof and remove the other side of the protection side of the material, of the butyl tape, and attach it down to the metal roofing that has been cleaned with special material, so we have a better adhesion, and we'll be able to withstand a long time. So this material is particularly designed so as the panel is heating up on the backing, it's creating a cross-link, it's creating a better attachment to the surface. So over time, it's going to continue to cure and improve the adhesion performance.
Richard Shangru. I have been involved with the solar project for the past 6 months. It's going pretty good. We learned a lot, as far as laminating solar panels onto roofing panels. We're just now getting into the wiring phase of the solar project. Well, so far we've laminated using 2 different types of epoxies or glue that we'd spread on the roofing panel. Then we would put the solar panel onto the glue, use a suction device, suck it to the roof panel, and then heat it for 2 hours. We've been doing that on these last 72 solar panels. Now we have a different type of way to adhere it to the roofing panel. And right now they have a 2-sided sticky tape application, so they're gluing it to the solar panel right now and getting ready to put it onto the roofing panel. The new process now is really quick. There's a certain temperature that you got to maintain as you're installing them panels with the adhesive. We built this building as straight east and west as possible, so the exposure is all to the south. You want to have your exposure facing the south. About 4 years now. It's wonderful, you know. It's like a dream come true. You know, you got another man that, no matter what's optimistic about any project he's doing. He's in my generation. We have the same drive and doing great for the communities and our children. You know, if we had an existing building, I believe we would need a standing seam roof. You know, where you have 2 seams and you have a flat metal in the middle. You have to have a standing seam roof for this system to work. If we had the standing seam roof, we could come in, we would get all our solar panels, we would prep them, find a place to prep them, make sure the temperature's right. We would prep all of our solar panels with the sticky tape, and then we would get on the roof, and all it takes really is to stick it in place so far down from the ridge. We'd have to remove the ridge so we can get our wiring inside the roof, inside the attic, and it would be a pretty easy process. The new adhesive system Carlos brought. He sends the solar panels out. He gives you a wiring diagram. So many of the solar panels are hooked together. That series of solar panels will have a wire that goes inside the building, and then it'll go to a little some sort of relay device that's mounted inside of the trusses up in your attic. And then from there, that is as far as we got. We can install the solar and get it all hooked up within a matter of a couple weeks.
So what we wanted to demonstrate here is kind of the brain of the electricity, what we're going to do. So we said we install the solar panel on the roof, right? But once the energy is generated, it's actually get converted from this charge controller into this battery. So this one is an advanced lithium battery module that's allowed to store a very high current, very high power density. So when if you're not using the energy, as we said, the energy is going to get stored. But then after the energy gets stored, we're using this inverter charge device to bring the energy back to the usage whenever it's needed. So this unit here is a very smart unit. So as a 2 input, it's connected to the grid and it's connected to the battery. So and then the load is connected to it. So what it does is that if the grid goes down for any reason, it's going to use the battery to provide emergency generation. So it's just like if you have your diesel generator, this one is done using no fuel, using the battery that is being totally charged by solar. So this is a completely green solution, right? We're not generating any pollution at all. So we're charging to the solar and we're using as needed. And if for any reason, even if the grid is there, but we're using some additional powers, maybe some equipment are turning on and off, this one will automatically supplement the additional power using the energy that is stored in the battery. So it is so for 2 purposes, like a UPS, so like an emergency power generator, in case you lose the energy from the grid for any reason. It's generating its own signal, everything automatically. It's like a UPS. Your laptop will stay connected. Your security will not go down. It can switch immediately from the grid to the battery in milliseconds. So fast that none of your electronic will even notice that, right? So you can continue to power your devices that are critical here, like we said, laptop or your security system. And in addition, if you're using more energy during when you're starting the AC or when you're starting the heating, floor heating, it will automatically supplement that additional load using the energy that is stored in the battery.
So yeah, we're just gonna ask Carlo a little bit more about the panels and how they're used and what some advantages that they carry over standard forms of electricity and the reason why we want to utilize them and integrate them into the construction.
Let me start from saying that a solar panel is very similar to a generator. You may all be familiar where you can actually generate your own power. So the panel are the same thing, right? So the only difference is the sun is actually lighting up on the solar cell, and then they're converting the sunlight into electricity. So this particular format is using a monocrystalline silicon cell, which are the highest efficiency. They convert the sun into electricity. So the benefits, obviously, you have a green energy. There's unlimited resources of energy from the sun that is provided. In 1 hour, the sun is providing enough energy to power the entire world for a year. We also combine it together with battery storage. So if you're not using the energy when it's generated from the sun, we can store it and use it later on, right? So it really gives you that energy available on demand whenever you need it.
So do you like the work so far? Like everything with the solar panels, or?
Yeah, well, this is the first time we've started them. The rest is just basic framing. Finished with the walls are 16 feet. The office space is 20 foot.
Is that the highest you built so far, or have you built more?
Built bigger.
Oh.
Bigger building than this in North Dakota.
How many feet was that?
That was 400 by 70 by 20 foot.
Wow.
This is 200 by 70 by 16 foot. So this is small. We just started the lamination process.
Oh, okay. Like, how long have you been working with this program?
I worked for Rich about almost 3 years now.
Oh, okay. And how's that been going for you?
It's going good. I've known him for 3 years. I've worked on various projects, doing houses, we built this, we worked on governor's houses, building the porches, installing floor tile. It's pretty good, helps me to take care of my family. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It pays off in the end, huh?
Yeah. The kids all get fed and taken care of, so that's what matters.
Yeah, that's good. Do you think there should be more jobs like this?
Oh yeah. We need it around here. We need economic development. There's nothing around here for our kids to do, or something to give them hope, something to look forward to when they get older.
So now that you've seen how it looks after putting the installation together, tying in the electrical, talking about the storage of it, which is incredible. Obviously, we want to share how we can work together with other tribal programs and with other tribal co-op members in terms of being able to finance and supply the equipment so that they also can have their own storage, solar storage and installation with their tribal buildings. That makes us really excited because being able to share this in the intertribal co-op is, it's never been done before. We're really excited about it. We think it'll make a radical improvement upon energy providing for all tribes involved in our group. So as you can see, kind of beginning, middle, and end, we took our team that was completely, never before worked on solar panels, much less installation, whether it was either the adhesives or the mechanical or the electrical, and we were able to train them, put everything together in a relatively short amount of time while the sun was still shining, and then completed the installation and the hookup and negotiated with the power company, all in a process that did not take long at all. So we want to duplicate this process. We think every tribal building that makes sense should have this, should be able to have their own storage capacity for power and energy. We also wanted to show how hiring local tribal labor force and getting them trained, they can also put these things together in a relatively short amount of time and then duplicate that process for themselves. We know that every tribe has many buildings. It's broken up in many tribal programs, but many of the tribal buildings have the ability to have this retro installation put on there. So all of the older buildings can have solar power storage capacity and solar power usage, which, as Carlo demonstrated earlier, during power outages or during times of extreme weather, having that ability to power your building is going to be instrumental and crucial for many tribal programs across Indian country and other reservations. So we're happy to be a part of that process. So with this building here, this is obviously our prototype as well as our guinea pig to show that our tribal co-op and ultimately our ability to finance, to deliver, to install, and to train other tribal co-op partners to have the ability to also have solar power for their tribal buildings. We were able to successfully do that here. That was our goal. Our team did an excellent job. We met the goal, and we're really excited to continue this forward across Indian country. Thank you.